So, Rob, how are you enjoying this year's Expo?
What I think's a big benefit this year is that there are encouraging signs that more lenders are coming back to the show. I think we've all been through the sort of economic climate of the last sort of 4 or 5 years, and sadly the show probably drifted a little away from its core business and sort of ended up sort of looking at the fringe players in the market. So it's great to see more and more lenders back, which hopefully the brokers will find of use.
And how are you finding the current market conditions?
Yeah, let's not beat about the bush. It's challenging. I think to say anything different than that would be very challenging. But Aldermore, we are a new name in British banking. We're only 2 years old. 2 years old today, actually, 23rd of May. So we've been lending. Thank you. Been lending for 2 years, and we really are delighted where we are. We're probably ahead of where we expected to be at this time in our sort of life cycle. So far so good, though very challenging.
So, Rob, do you see the first-time buyer as the key to a properly functioning housing market?
I think it's common knowledge that first-time buyers are finding it very, very difficult to get on the housing ladder at the moment. Not that long ago, 125% mortgages were available for first-time buyers to sort of get well ahead of where they needed to be on day one. Typically now their best probably need a 20%, 25% deposit, so it is very, very difficult for them. And I think the age of a first-time buyer is pushed out significantly. That's obviously leading to other opportunities, buy-to-let. People still want to own their own homes, but sadly having to do it that little bit later now because they can't afford to. Aldermore were one of the first lenders in the marketplace, if not the first, to come back with a 100% scheme. So it shows how we treat first-time buyers as a fundamental part of the house cycle.
So, Rob, how do you think the role of the mortgage advisor is going to change over the next few years?
I think we need to watch MMR and the impacts of MMR over the coming months and see what that will impact on the advisor. One thing that I think will probably be interesting for a mortgage advisor is that once and if individual registration comes into play from the high street as a result of MMR, whether the high street banks will put all their thousands of advisors through that, and I think that will probably throw a little bit more encouragement to the high street intermediary to get more business that way.
What advice would you offer to people looking to start out in the mortgage industry?
Crikey, would you join the mortgage industry? Absolutely. I think there are great opportunities. And yes, there's a lot of bad news about our industry in the press and the nationals, but lenders like ourselves, new startup, we're regularly recruiting. We're looking at all sorts of positions right across the piece, whether that be graduate or experienced professionals. But I think also MMR will bring around the importance of full advice, so gives people an opportunity to do the job properly, and I think they can prosper and make a really, really good living out of it. So don't be afraid, come and join the financial services industry.